I'm here to show you how to install fixed pipe irrigation. We're using the fixed pipe irrigation, otherwise known as PVC pipe, because this area is a high traffic area and the pipe won't collapse, and therefore we won't lose pressure and the system will maintain properly. The tools I'll require for the job are a hacksaw, glue, primer and a rag to apply the primer, the white PVC fittings, the pop-up sprinklers, tape measure, the solenoid valve and a shovel, and of course the PVC pipe. In this instance we're using pop-up sprinklers because we're watering a lawn area and we don't want the sprinklers to be visible when they're not in use. The areas that the sprinklers are covering must overlap so the arc of the sprinkler comes to where the next sprinkler is situated. What we're going to do is we're going to dig a trench around the perimeter of the lawn area because we'll be watering from the perimeter towards the middle of the lawn. Once we've dug that trench, we'll measure it up to determine how much pipe we need and how many sprinklers we need and where we need to place those sprinklers. Remember, look at your pop-up sprinklers. On the labels they will tell you there what area the sprinklers will cover and therefore how far apart the sprinklers should be to adequately cover the area that you're watering. Now that I've measured the area, I'm going to cut the pipe to the correct length. At the moment what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the entire system without priming and gluing it so I can get the correct layout, then come back and reattach everything after we've primed and glued it. In the middle section what we're going to do is we're going to have a half circle spray. So we're going to install a T-piece, a threaded T-piece, joining the two pipes together, and we'll then put a riser in here and attach our pop-up sprinkler in the middle. In this instance in the corner we're using a plain elbow and a small piece of pipe that I've cut to attach a threaded T-junction where we're going to attach the pop-up sprinkler to that T-junction. However, there is an elbow that you can buy which has got a thread in the top where you can attach the sprinkler directly to that elbow. This section of our watering system is where we attach our water source. So what I'll be doing is putting a T-piece in where we can run a pipe off and attach to our solenoid valve. The solenoid valve controls the flow of water to the watering system. I'll now continue to cut pipe, fit the fittings to complete our watering system. Now that we've put our system together, we'll prime the joints and glue the joints together. The primer virtually cleans the joints so that the glue has a better chance of making the joints stick better. The other thing I want to do too with our threaded T-piece is put a riser in the top. So when we're fitting the T-piece in, we can be sure that the fitting is going to be vertical because once the glue is applied, it sets very, very quickly. With our glue, the glue container already has a brush inside it, so we don't need to use anything else. When applying the glue, just wipe off a little bit of the glue so we don't have too much being applied to the surfaces. Both surfaces should have glue put on them before putting the pieces together. We'll now repeat this process for all of the joints in our watering system. Now that we've finished gluing our reticulation system together, we need to flush the system to get rid of any dirt that might have accumulated in the pipes while we're putting everything together. These are the pop-up sprinklers we'll be using. To attach them to our threaded T-pieces, we need to use a short riser. We simply screw the riser into the sprinkler and then in turn screw the sprinkler and riser into the T-piece. We'll attach sprinklers to all but the sprinkler point which is furthest from our water source. That way when we run the water will flush through the system and get rid of any dirt out of that. Now that we've finished flushing the system, we'll place the last sprinkler at the flush point and backfill the whole watering system. So there we go, we've finished installing our fixed pipe irrigation and we've got the system up and running. And as you can see, it was quite easy to do and I'm sure anybody can do it.